Can a song be more than just a song? I mean, can music, with its beats and rhymes, actually become a weapon? Can it be something way more dangerous? Well, that's exactly what we're going to get into today.
He who messes with la caña is dead. Just let that sink in for a second. That's a lyric from a song. And no, that's not some metaphor from a heavy metal band. It's a cold, direct threat. And it's at the very center of a huge accusation.
The artist behind that line, a guy who goes by Makabelico, isn't just dealing with bad reviews. No, according to the source material we're looking at, he's being accused of being a terrorist, that his music is literally an act of terrorism.
Okay, so let's unpack this. What is the actual claim being made here? Because it's not just about one violent lyric. It's a lot deeper than that. First, the source material just lays it out there, plain and simple. He's a criminal. But then it escalates, big time. They don't just stop at criminal, they explicitly label him a terrorist.
And then, boom, they get super specific. The accusation is that his music is nothing less than propaganda for a very real, very notorious group, the Cartel Del Noreste.
Now, propaganda is a heavy word, right? So let's be really clear about what we mean. We're not just talking about an ad or a catchy jingle. Propaganda is the deliberate spreading of ideas of a specific story to push a cause. It's all about one thing: influence.
So, with that definition in mind, let's dig into the main piece of evidence here, the artist's own words. We're going to go deep into the lyrics and see what kind of story they're really telling.
The very first thing you notice is this powerful theme of claiming territory. And we're not talking about some metaphorical high grounds here. We're talking about actual physical places on a map.
And check this out. He's not talking about some fictional city. He's naming real states in Mexico, places known for intense cartel activity. Tamaulipas, Nuevo León. This is grounded in reality.
And this is where you got to understand the slang to really get it. When he says las líneas, he doesn't just mean lines. In this world, that means cartel-controlled routes, their turf. And como patrulla, like a patrol, he's painting a picture of his group as the ones in charge, the ones who own and police the area.
Okay, so it's not just about claiming land. You also have to make people believe you can hold it. So the next theme is all about projecting this image of untouchable power and, frankly, making people afraid.
And there it is again. He literally calls himself a monstro, a monster. And that's not him saying he's sorry. It's a boast. He's owning that identity. And then he follows it right up with that deadly, crystal-clear warning. You see what he's doing here? He's carefully building a persona. He's not just a guy, he's a monster. His enemies don't just lose, they end up dead. And that line about his toys turning from plastic to metal, that's him creating this backstory, this myth that he was born for this life of violence. It's all part of the performance.
So the last piece of the puzzle is how he describes his organization. Because the way he talks about them, it's not some messy street gang. It sounds more like a disciplined military unit.
I mean, just listen to that language. My people never sleep. Radio's on. Orders are obeyed. And this one gives me chills. Makes no noise and kills. That sounds like a spec ops team, not a random crew.
So the image he's painting is one of a highly organized, lethal, efficient machine. It's sending a very clear message. We are not just a bunch of thugs. We are a professional force, and you do not want to mess with us.
All right, so we've looked at the themes in the lyrics. Now let's tie it all back to that initial accusation. How does all of this connect to the idea of propaganda?
So think about it like this. On one side, you have the persona created in the lyrics. Powerful, feared, in control, organized. And on the other side, you have the classic goals of propaganda. Build up a myth of being invincible, intimidate your rivals, keep your own people loyal, and maybe even attract new recruits. The argument being made is that the persona is the perfect tool to achieve those goals. The music becomes the delivery system.
So when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway here? What does a case like this really show us?
Well, what it suggests is that music can be used as a vehicle to project power, that lyrics can be strategically used to build a very specific, very intimidating public image. It's all about creating a story, a narrative of power that's designed to influence everyone, friends and enemies alike. And when that happens, the line between entertainment and what you could call psychological warfare, well, it gets incredibly blurry.
And at the end of the day, that's the real tension here, isn't it? A piece of art, a song,
can be interpreted in a million different ways. But the accusation leveled against this music, it's singular, it's direct, and it's incredibly serious.
Which leaves us with a really tough question, one that you have to think about for yourself. Whether you're the artist, a fan, or just someone listening, where is that line? When does a character in a song stop being just a character? Where does artistic expression end and a call to arms begin?